Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secures a resounding victory at the 2020 general election. Prime Minister to be sworn in at the Kalaniya Rajama Viharaya day after tomorrow. The Samagi Jana Balawegaya obtains 54 seats in parliament. Jatika Jana Balawegaya speaks about the results.
නමුත් ඒ කිසිසේත්ම මහමැතිවරණයකදී අපි අපේක්ෂා කරන ලද ප්‍රතිඵලය නෙවෙයි. නමුත් ජනතාව අප කෙරෙහි තබා තිබෙන විශ්වාසය, ඡන්දයේදී තබා තිබෙන විශ්වාසය මෙය ලෙස අපි පිළිගන්නවා.
UNP holds emergency meeting. Ranil says no to the nationalist seat.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්තයා මේ ජාතික ලංකාවේ මන්ත්‍රී
නෑ එතුමා යන්නේ නෑ.
අද පැහැදිලිවම කිව්වද?
ඔව් පැහැදිලිව කියලා තියෙනවා.
Warrants issued against the mayor of Kurunegala and 4 others for destroying an archaeological site.
Very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1, coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Today is the 8th of August. After a hectic week before, you saw the general election for the year 2020 being held amid the COVID-19 pandemic still ongoing here in Sri Lanka. Results are out. The national list candidates have also been submitted by certain parties. Party reforms are taking place. But first, let's take a look at how the winning team at the general election celebrated their victory.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was at his Carlton residence in Tangol when the election results were announced yesterday. Religious leaders, including the Mahasangha, offered their blessings to the Prime Minister at the Carlton residence this afternoon. A group including party supporters and politicians also met with the Prime Minister and conveyed their congratulatory messages.
We will strive our utmost to ensure the victory of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The people have complete faith on the President and the Prime Minister. We will unconditionally support the President and the Prime Minister towards the upliftment of this country, except for those which are harmful to this nation.
Meanwhile, Vinayagamurthy Mullaridharan, who contested from the Ahila Ilankai Tamil Mahasabha, met with the Prime Minister at the Carlton residence today. Mahinda Rajapaksa left for Colombo at around 1:30 p.m. amidst a huge cheer from supporters.
Mahinda Rajapaksa is due to take oaths as the Prime Minister at the Kalaniya Rajama Viharaya on the 9th of August. The swearing-in ceremony is scheduled to begin at 8:30 a.m. Issuing a statement, Mahinda Rajapaksa said that his aim is to convert this success into victory. Rajapaksa said the success at this election has proven to the world that the President's vision of prosperity can be implemented in this country. He pointed out that true victory is achieved amidst several challenges. The Prime Minister pointed out that the victory in the war, the successful fight against COVID-19 and an extremely successful election have shown the strength of the people to the world. He said that the election victory rebuilds the self-confidence of the nation as a whole.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa tweeted that the released election results show that the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna had secured a resounding victory. The President said that he believes that the seat secured will assist in creating a parliament that will fulfill the promises of his manifesto, vistas of prosperity and splendour. Meanwhile, President Maithripala Sirisena spoke about his victory in Polonnaruwa this morning.
This was an uphill task and I thank the people of Polonnaruwa for this great victory. I must state that in this new government under the leadership of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, we will work towards achieving economic growth and create a more virtuous and more disciplined society.
Chairman of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Professor G.L. Piri, spoke about forming a new government and the plans of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna at a media briefing held at the party headquarters today.
We were able to secure victory in 19 of the 22 districts. A special word of gratitude goes out to Basil Rajapaksa. During the past 6 months, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was able to control the spread of COVID-19, curb organized crime, and strengthen the campaign against drugs in the country. All of this shows that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa is a strong leader. The people have given our party the power to solve all their issues at this election. When the new parliament convenes on the 20th of August, the government will have a two-third majority and the power to amend the constitution. Then we will have no room to say that there were obstacles in implementing our policies. We have that power that we need in parliament, so we will not have to discuss and bargain with other parties and be bound by their conditions. That does not mean that this government will act arbitrarily. Other parties contested under different symbols. Douglas Devananda's party has 2 seats. Also, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party won a seat in Jaffna. We also have the support of Ataula and Pilian. Those are parties that worked with us. Therefore, we have more than 150 seats in parliament. We need to think about that. There are a few alternatives. We can see that some amendments need to be done. This cannot continue like this. The quorum of the commissions must be amended. During the past, Ranil and Sumandiran continued to ask for the old parliament to be summoned. They said that not convening the old parliament is unconstitutional. Now we can see that parliament did not represent the wishes of the people at all. The president must have the power to dissolve the parliament at any given time. This was not possible because of the 19th amendment to the constitution. That greatly influenced the result. The revelations made at the Presidential Commission were damning. The people of this country saw that nothing was being done by the previous government to protect them. As soon as we receive the report, our government will act upon it. If they have been elected as members of the parliament, they can perform their duties. They will not be a part of our government. Why do we need them when we have a two-third majority?
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured a resounding victory at this year's parliamentary election. The SLPP won 128 seats and secured 17 nationalist seats, bringing the total number of seats to 145. 150 seats are required to secure a two-thirds majority in parliament. Accordingly, the SLPP would require 5 more seats to hold a two-thirds majority in parliament. 4 parties are tipped to join the SLPP and raise the total number of seats in the government camp by 5. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party has secured 1 seat, while Douglas Devananda's EPDP secured 2 seats. The TMVP of Sivanesature Chandrakanthan, alias Pillayan, and the National Congress of ALM Ataullah have won 1 seat each. Accordingly, the SLPP would be able to easily hold a two-thirds majority in parliament with the support of these parties. The SLPP registered victory in the Hambantota, Gaul, Matara, Kalutara, Ratnapura, K-Gaul, Kurunegala, Kandy, Anuradhapura, Polonnarua, Monaragala, Badulla, Nuwara Eliya and Puttlam districts. The party received 6,853,690 votes, which are 59.09% of the total votes. The Samagi Jana Balawegya had obtained 2,771,980 votes and secured 54 seats, including 7 national list seats. The Samagi Jana Balawegya received 23.9% of the total ballots cast. The Ilangai Tamilarusu Katchi received 2.82% of the total votes, as their tally stood at 327,168. The party secured 10 seats, including 1 national list seat. The Jatika Jana Balawegaya secured 3 seats in parliament, including a national list seat, as they obtained 445,958 votes. It received 3.84% of the total votes. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party obtained 66,579 votes and secured 1 parliamentary seat. However, the United National Party, that held power for over 4 decades since independence, failed to see representatives being elected to parliament. The party only managed to secure 1 national list seat. The United National Party secured a total of 249,435 votes, which is 2.15% of the overall ballots. The Ahila Ilanka Tamil Congress secured 2 seats, including a national list seat at the polls. The Elam People's Democratic Party, or the EPDP, also secured 2 seats by obtaining 61,464 votes. The Our Power of People Party, that is contesting the election for the first time, secured a national list seat after obtaining 67,758 votes. The Tamil Makkal Vidudalai Pulikal obtained 67,692 votes and received 1 seat. Meanwhile, the Muslim National Alliance, Tamil Makkal Thesiya Kuttane, All Ceylon Makkal Congress, National Congress and the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress received 1 seat each. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna submitted its national list to the Elections Commission this evening. The list includes the names of 17 SLPP members. They are Professor G.L. Piris, Attorney at Law Sagara Karyavasam, former Central Bank Governor Ajit Niwad Cabral, President's Counsel Ali Sabri, President's Counsel Jayanta Veerasinghe, retired teaching instructor Manjula Disanayaka, Senior Professor Ranjit Bandara, Professor Charita Herath, Govindu Kumara Tunga, former parliamentarian Mohammad Muzammil, Professor Tissa Vitarana, Engineer Yadamini Gunavardhana, Dr. Suren Raghavan, former parliamentarian Tiran Alas. Tiran Alas previously entered parliament in 2010, representing the Democratic National Alliance. Specialist Dr. Sita Arambepola, former parliamentarian Jayanta Ketagoda, businessman Mohammad Falil Marjan.
Well, with that detailed analysis of the number of votes that were secured by each party, it finally boils down to who got more preferential votes, and this will determine who enters Parliament through the number of seats that were given to the respective parties. We remember in the past there were issues between candidates of the same party due to the issue of preferential votes. And now the results of the preferential votes too have been released.
Kurunegala district, Mahinda Rajapaksa from the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna had won the highest number of votes, with the tally standing at 527,364. The other elected representatives from the SLPP in the district are Johnston Fernando, Gunapala Ratnasekara, Dayasiri Jayasekara, Asanka Navaratna, Saman Priya Herath, DB Herath, Anura Priyadarshana, Jayaratna Herath, Shanta Bandara and Sumit Udukumbura. From the Samagi Jana Balawegaya, Nalin Bandara, JC Alawatuwala, Ashoka Besingha and Tushar Indunil have entered parliament. The SLPP candidates in the Colombo district, namely Sarath Veerasekara, Vimal Veerawansa, Udaya Gammanpila, Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, Bandula Gunawardana, Major Pradeep Udugoda, Dinesh Gunawardana, Madura Vitanage, Premanath Sidolawata, Gamini Lokuge, Susil Premajayanta and Jagat Kumara secured themselves a seat in parliament. Sajid Premadasa of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya, who won the highest number of votes in the Colombo district from the SJB with the figure standing at 305,774, entered parliament. He is joined by fellow party members S.M. Marika, Mujibur Rahman, Dr. Harsha De Silva, Patli Champika Ranawaka and Mano Ganesan. Anura Kumara Disanayaka from the Jatika Jana Balawegaya, or the National People's Power, has also entered parliament after obtaining 49,814 votes. In the Gampaha district, SLPP candidates Dr. Nalaka Godeheva, Prasanna Ranatunga, Indika Anuruddha, Sisira Jayakodi, Nimal Lansa, Sahan Pradeep Vitana, Dr. Sudashani Fernandepulle, Prasanna Ranavira, Kokila Harshani Gunawardana, Lasanta Alagiyavanna, Nalin Ruanjiva Fernando, Milan Jayatilaka and Upul Mahendra Rajapaksa have secured a seat in Parliament. Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca, Ranjan Ramanayaka, Harshana Rajakaruna and Dr. Kavinda Jayawardena have entered Parliament from the Samagi Jana Balavegaya. Vijita Herath from the Jatika Jana Balavegaya has also entered Parliament. From the Hambantota district, SLPP candidates Namal Rajapaksa, DV Chanaka, Mahinda Amaravira, Chamal Rajapaksa, Upul Galapati and Ajit Rajapaksa entered Parliament. Dilip Vedarachi from the Samagi Jana Balavegaya also entered Parliament from this district. Ilangai Tamil Arasukachi candidates, President's Council M.A. Sumandiran, S. Sridharan, and D. Siddharthan, SLFP candidate Angajan Ramanathan, Elam People's Democratic Party or EPDP candidate Douglas Devananda, Akhila Ilangai Tamil Congress candidate Gajendra Kumar Ponnambalam, and Tamil Makkal Thesiya Kootani candidate C.V. Vigneshwaran entered Parliament from the Jaffna district. The SLPP's Vidura Vikramanayaka, Rohita Begunawardena, Sanjeeva Idrimanna, Piyal Nishantha De Silva, Jayantha Samaravira, Anupa Pascual, Lalit Tellavala and Mahinda Samarasinghe have entered Parliament from the Kalutara district. Dr. Rajasa Senaratna and Kumara Velgama from the Samagi Jana Balavegaya have also entered Parliament representing the Kalutara district. In the Galle district, SLPP candidates Dr. Ramesh Pathidana, Sampath Atukoralage, Mohan Priyadarshana, Shandima Virakodi, Isuru Dodangoda, Shan Vijayalal and Geeta Kumarasinghe have entered Parliament. Gayantha Karuna Tilaka and Manusha Nanayakara from the Samagi Jana Balavegaya have also entered Parliament. From the Matara district, SLPP candidates Janaka Bandara Tennakon, Pramita Bandara Tennakon, Nalaka Bandara and Rohana Disanayaka have entered Parliament. Rohini Kaviratna from the Samagi Jana Balavegaya has also secured a seat in Parliament. Former President Maithripala Sirisena, who contested from the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, had obtained the highest number of votes in the Polonnaruwa district with 111,137 votes to his account. SLPP candidates Roshan Ranasinghe, Siripala Gamlat and Amarakirti Atukorala, along with Samagi Jana Balavegaya candidate Kins Nelson, have also secured their seats in Parliament. In the Matara district, SLPP candidates Nipuna Ranamaka, Karuna Kodituaku, Dallas Alahapperma, Kanchana Vijayasekara, Mahinda Apabewardena and Veerasumana Veerasinghe have entered Parliament. Samagi Jana Balavegaya candidate Buddhika Pathidana has also gained eligibility to enter Parliament. From the Kandy district, SLPP candidates Dilu Mamunugama, Mahindananda Aludgamage, Lohan Ratwata, Anuradha Jayaratna, Keheliya Rambukwalla, Wasantayapa Bandara, Gunatilaka Rajapaksa and Udayana Kirindigoda have entered Parliament. SJB candidates Rauf Hakim, Muhammad Abdul Halim, Velukuma and Lakshman Kiriyalla have also entered Parliament from the district. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidates S.M. Chandrasena, Professor Channa Jayasumana, Uddhika Premaratna, Shehan Semasinghe, Duminda Disanayaka, J. Nandasena and KPS Kumarasiri contested from the Anuradhapura district. Ishaq Rahman and Rohana Vijayasundara from the Samagi Jana Balavegaya have also entered Parliament. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidates Kanaka Herath, Ranjit Siambalapitiya, Taraka Balasuriya, Rajika Vikramasinghe, H.R.S. Dushmanta, Udayakanta Gunatilaka and L.H. Sudat Manjula have entered Parliament from the K-Galle district. Kabir Hashim and Sujit Sanjay Pereira from the SJB have also entered Parliament. In the Monragala district, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidates Sashindra Rajapaksa, Kumara Siri Ratnayaka, Vijita Berugoda, Jagat Pushpa Kumara and Gaishan Navananda have entered Parliament. Dharmasena Vijayasinghe from the Samagi Jana Balavegaya have also entered Parliament from the same district. Priyankara Jayaratna, Arundika Fernando, Chintaka Amal Mayadunna, Sanat Nishantha and Ashoka Priyantha have entered Parliament from the Putlam district under the SLPP ticket. Samagi Jana Balavegaya candidates Hector Puhami and Niroshan Pereira, along with Muslim National Alliance candidate Shabdin Mohammad Rahim, have also entered Parliament. From the Digamadula district, SLPP candidates Vimala Veera Disanayaka, D. Veerasinghe and Tilak Rajapaksa have entered Parliament. Mohammad Haris and Faiza Qasim of the Samagi Jana Balavegaya, M.A. Musharraf of the All Ceylon Makkal Congress, the ACMC, and A.L.M. Ataullah from the National Congress have also entered Parliament. Nimal Siripala De Silva, Sudarshana Denipitiya, Tenuka Vidana Gamage, Chamara Sampath Dasanayaka, Dilan Pereira and Janaka Tissa Kuttiarachi, who contested under the SLPP ticket in the Badulla district, have entered Parliament. Vadivel Suresh, Aravinda Kumar and Chaminda Vijayasiri from the Samagi Jana Balavegaya have also secured their seat in Parliament from Badulla. From the Vanni district, Ilangai Tamil Arasukachi candidates Charles Nirmalanathan, Selvan Adekkalanathan and Vinonoha Radhalingam, SLPP candidate Kader Mastan, SJB candidate Rishad Bathiuddin and Elam People's Democratic Party candidate Kulasingham Tilipan have also secured their seats in Parliament. From the Trincomalee district, Samagi Jana Balawege candidates M. Sharif Tawfiq and Imran Mahroof have secured their seats in Parliament. SLPP candidate Kapilanuwan Athukorala and Ilangai Tamil Arasu Katchi candidate R. Sambandhan have also entered Parliament. From the Battikaloa district, Tamil Makkal Vidudalai Puligal candidate Sivanesa Thurai Chandrakanthan, Ilangai Tamil Arasu Katchi candidates Kovindan Karunakaram and R.S. Rahul Rajaputtiran have also entered Parliament. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate S. Vyalendran and Sri Lanka Muslim Congress candidate Ahmed Nasir also gained eligibility to enter Parliament. From the Nuwara district, Jeevan Tondaman, C.B. Ratnayaka, S.P. Disanayaka, Maruppandi Rameshwaran and Nimal Piyatissa of the SLPP have entered Parliament. Palani Digambaram, Velusami Radhakrishnan and Mali Vaganam Udayakumar of the Samagi Janabala Vega have also entered Parliament. From the Ratnapura district, SLPP candidates Pavitra Vanyarachi, Premalal Jayasekara, Chanaka Vakkumbura, Gamini Velaboda, Akila Ellavala, Vasudeva Nanayakara, Mudita Prashanti and John Seneviratna have secured their seats in Parliament. Heshan Vitanage, Varuna Priyantaliyanage and Thalata Athukorala have entered Parliament from the Samagi Janabala Vega in this district.
Former State Minister Lakshmani Abebewardene failed to secure a seat in Parliament at this year's election. Abebewardene met with his supporters after the results were released. We must accept both victory and defeat. Therefore, I will help them in my capacity. 71,000 people were with us. Many might have been deceived in exchange for certain perks or some other matters. However, they will understand the reality in a few months. Let us see how things work out. Based on that, I shall make my political decision. I cannot comment on my future decisions yet. I will make my decision with patience. Let's be patient. They know who I am, especially Basil knows about me. Therefore, Basil will provide me with some form of protection.
Vidura Wickramanayake secured the highest number of preferential votes in the Kalutara district. He expressed the following views today.
None of these victories are personal achievements. These are victories of the people. We need to understand this. We are the servants of the people, not their masters. This is a warning to those who still believe in the old ways. The people have given a clear warning. The people have said, change now, or you too will lose at the next election. The people have elected several new members to parliament. The people were specifically asked to reject some candidates, but the people have not rejected them. This shows that people are not siding with politicians. People have their own opinion.
Here are some footage of how candidates celebrated their victories at the general election 2020.
Rear Admiral Sarath Veerasekara, who obtained the highest number of votes from the Colombo district under the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna ticket, met with supporters near the polling centre at Isipathana College. We are expecting victory. We know what happened to Ranil Wickramasinghe. This country has fallen to its doldrums. There is no one other than Gotabaya Rajapaksa who can uplift the country. Meanwhile, Madura Vitanage met with supporters at the party office in Kotte. We must hope to fulfill the aspirations of the people instead of bragging about our victory. We must not celebrate in a way that would inconvenience the people. This was the situation that was witnessed near the counting centre at the Pasdun Rata National College of Education in Kalutara. a stable government will be established in the future. Building a stable government means to move forward by introducing economic, political, social and environmental reform. We are genuinely happy about that.
අන්න ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අපි අවංකවම සතුටු වෙනවා. ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොදු ජන පෙරමුණ
Under my leadership role in the SLPP, we were able to win 8 seats. I think this is a record that will enter the books of history. This record can't be broken.
තාවක් ඒ වාර්තාව කඩන්න බැරි වෙයි.
A large group gathered outside the National Science Faculty in Patalagedera. I feel that this election has shown us how advanced Sri Lankans are in terms of politics. The decision that they gave is sublime. We feel that this victory is an achievement of the people who love the country and think about it. Nipuna Ranawaka, who obtained the highest number of votes in the Mathura district, received a warm welcome at the Sujata Balika Vidyalaya in Mathura. Let me tell the people of the Mathura district that this area was the birthplace of Mahinda Rajapaksa and Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Therefore, I feel that the love and compassion towards the people of Mathura will continue to exist.
මාතර දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ ජනතාව මම විශ්වාස කරනවා ඉදිරියටත් ඒ ආකාරයෙන්ම පවත්වාගෙන යයි කියලා ඒක තුන්වෙනි වරටත්
For the third time, I have topped the list of candidates for the highest number of preferential votes in the Mathura district to enter parliament. I have been elected twice to provincial councils as well. I have registered 5 consecutive victories at elections. I wish to express my gratitude to the people of Mathura for helping me to secure this victory. Dr. Ramesh Patirana, who obtained the highest number of votes in the Gaul district under the SLPP, was welcomed in Pinadua. I wish to thank everyone who cast their vote for me to help me come out on top of my group and for helping me to become undefeated in my 6th consecutive election. Diluma Munugama, who obtained the highest number of preferential votes in the Kandy district, was welcomed in Nugavela.
This was the situation near the polling station at the Suchi National School in Hambantota after the election results were released yesterday. A large number of people visited the Carlton House in Tangol to meet with Namal Rajapaksa, who won the highest number of votes in the Hambantota district. In politics, we must learn to accept both victory and defeat. Sometimes the members of the United National Party may have fallen down mentally after their defeat. However, we wish to tell them that they must learn to accept both victory and defeat. When Mahinda Rajapaksa came back to the Carlton residence following his defeat, the people who have lost today wouldn't have imagined that Mahinda Rajapaksa will enter politics again. However, Mahinda Rajapaksa engaged in politics with the people. I feel that when the constitution was being drafted, even J.R. Jayawardena wouldn't have thought that a party would record a massive victory. Today, the people have given us that victory. An event was organized at the Siribopura area in Hambantota to welcome Ajit Rajapaksa, who finished off 5th in the Hambantota district. A milk rice dansal was also set up at the location.
Johnston Fernando, who emerged victorious in the Kurunegala district under the SLPP ticket, expressed the following views to the media today. The provincial council election must be held. This must be followed by the Pradesh Sabha election. When the time comes, the presidential election must be held. We are not a government that avoids elections. The 19th Amendment does not have provisions to sack a police chief who has been suspended or interdicted. Can the country move forward if an IGP can't be appointed? An independent elections commission that comprises of people like Hool, who are the agents of the Tigers, has been appointed. A commission must be independent. Can we imagine that this independency would be ensured? A change must take place. That is why the people have been given the right to vote. Meanwhile, R. Sambandhan, who won the poll under the Tamil National Alliance, attended a special religious ceremony at the Sri Bhaddakali Amman Kovil. Some candidates who had won the election had arrived near the counting centre that had been set up near the Anuradhapura Central College. This is a massive victory for the SLPP. The election was held without tensions or bloodshed. We had always predicted that we would secure a two-thirds majority. We have come close to securing a majority in parliament. Candidates of various parties in the Putlam district who had won the election left the premises of the Putlam district secretariat in a group. Ali Sabri Rahim, who had won the poll in the Putlam district under the banner of the Muslim National Alliance, met with supporters near the Putlam district secretariat. A large group had gathered outside the Matale district secretariat to welcome Nalaka Bandara Kottegoda, who was placed second in the Matara district while contesting under the SLPP. This was the manner in which the people had gathered to welcome Rohana Dissanayake, who was elected to parliament. Rohini Kaviratna, who entered parliament from the Samagi Jana Balavegya in the Matale district, was also accorded a grand welcome by party supporters. A ceremony was organized to welcome Kanaka Herath, who was placed first in the Kegal district. Earlier, our target was to secure 7 seats. We were able to do that with a margin of 200,000 votes. We wish to thank everyone in the Kegal district who voted for us. We wish to develop the Kegal district with a specific target. Supporters gathered outside the SLPP's election operations office in Ampara since yesterday, anticipating the arrival of the victorious candidates.
We are unable to convert this success into a full-scale victory. Although there are several members in parliament, the people of Anuradhapura did not elect a genuine farmer who was in parliament at this year's election. The people did not elect my friend Niroshan Premaratna, who was a kind and genuine man. The people who strived hard and built Mahinda Rajapaksa's political movement and paved the way for his victory have not been recognized. Therefore, several new problems will be created through this election in parliament and in politics. The people prevented individuals who can enter parliament from entering it. The people kept them at home. That is the situation in Ampara.
Pavitra Vanyarachi, who came out on top in the Ratnapura district, was welcomed by her supporters. These were the scenes witnessed outside the Monaragala district secretariat when the election results of the district were being released. As a team, we registered a historic win in the Monaragala district. We wish to express our gratitude to the people of Vellassa for that. Everyone rallied around to make a wise choice. I wish to provide a strong assurance that I will extend my fullest support to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in his administration of the government. There were individuals who carried out false propaganda and tried to defeat me. I wish to pledge my fullest support to Gotabaya Rajapaksa's government.
Those were the scenes from celebrations of victory. However, following the defeat at the general election, leaders of the United National Party held a media briefing at the Sirikota party headquarters today.
The media briefing was chaired by party leader Ranil Wickramasinghe and attended by the party general secretary Akhila Viraj Karyawasam, Vajira Abewardena, Ashu Marasinghe, Ravi Karunanayake and Ruwan Wijewardena.
මන්ත්‍රීතුමාද මොකක්ද සාකච්ඡාව?
මැතිවරණ ප්‍රතිඵල වලින් පස්සේ මීළඟ පියවර ගන්න කොහොමද කියන ගැන තමයි සාකච්ඡා කරේ. බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා සමුදට නැවත රැස් වෙලා ගන්න තීරණ ගන්න.
නායකත්වය වෙනස් කිරීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් මේ තීරණයක් ගන්නවද?
නෑ නායකත්වය වෙනස් කිරීම පිළිබඳ තීරණ මේ අපේ සාකච්ඡාවල ගන්න පුළුවන් තත්ත්වයක් නෑ.
ජාතික ලැයිස්තු මන්ත්‍රී ධූරය සම්බන්ධ තීරණයක් ගන්නවද?
ඒකත් සමුදෙන් පස්සේ තීරණය කරන්න. ඒක පක්ෂයේ තීරණය කරන්න ඕනේ.
දැන් මේ 0% වැටිච්ච පක්ෂය ගොඩ ගන්නේ කොහොමද?
පරාජය කියන්නේ ජයග්‍රහණයේ මාවතක්. ඒකට එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂය නැවත සම්පූර්ණයෙන් සංවිධානය වෙලා අපි ඒකට මුහුණ දෙනවා.
කොහොමද සාකච්ඡාව?
සාකච්ඡාව අපි පක්ෂයේ ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණය කළා ඉදිරියට යන්න තීරණය කරා.
දැන් ඔබතුමාලා මේ 0%ට වැටිච්ච පක්ෂේ
කමක් නේද අපි බිඳුවේ ඉඳන් අපි පක්ෂි කොට ගන්නවා. කොට අරගෙන ඉදිරියට ගෙනියනවා. එච්චරයි.
කොට ගන්න දැන් ඔබතුමාලා.
ඒකිට අපිනේ කරන්නේ.
ඒ කියන්නේ කොට ගන්නේ කාත් එක්කද? රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහතා එක්කද නැගිටින්නද?
ඒක බලමු. තීරණය කළා.
රාජ්‍යයට හේතු කොටක් කියලා. නැත්නම් අඩවත් අහුවේ නැත්නම් ආයෙ අයින් වෙන්න කියලා කිව්වේ නැත්නම් නැගිටලා කිව්වේ නැත්නම් එඩිතරම.
අයි මේ
ජාතික ලැයිස්තු මන්ත්‍රී ධූරය ලබා දීම සම්බන්ධව තීරණයක් ගත්තද?
සාමාන්‍ය එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ ප්‍රතිපත්තිය දන්නවනේ ජාතික ලැයිස්තුවට හැමදාම පරාජිතය දැම්මේ නැහැ.
ඒ රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්තයා මේ ජාතික ලැයිස්තු මන්ත්‍රී ධූරය
නෑ නෑ එතුමා යන්නේ නෑ.
අද පැහැදිලිවම කිව්වද?
ඔව් පැහැදිලිව කියලා තියෙනවා.
Meanwhile, the group of UNP seniors left the premises without speaking to the media.
මාධ්‍යයට පොඩ කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. ඔබතුමාලා බැනලා යන්නේ. රවි ඇමතුමා
Attorney at law Atula Ranakala, who contested from the Samagi Jana Balaveke, expressed these views while passing by the Sirikota party headquarters.
Ko Alia? Alia ko? Alia kul ko? ඔබතුමාලා ගිය තැන මට අයිතිය තියෙනවා මේක ඕන තැනකට යන්න. අපේ නායකයා නිසා තමයි මේ සියල්ල සිද්ධ වුණේ. මේකේ රිංගගෙන මේකේ හොර කණ්ඩායමත් එක්ක අවුරුදු ගාණක් තිස්සේ මේකේ කරපු කෙලිය නිසා තමයි කරපු කුමන්ත්‍රණ නිසා තමයි අද මේ අත්පත් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. නියම පාඩම දීලා තිනවා ඵලයන් ගෙදර කියලා.
දැන් රනිල් යයිද ගෙදර? රනිල් යයිද?
ගෙදර දැන් යන්න දෙයක් නැහැ ගෙදර ඇරලානේ. තව කොහෙද යන්නේ?
Following the historic defeat of the United National Party, the party released their first communique to the media. The communique states that the United National Party wishes to convey its appreciation to the National Elections Commission for conducting the 2020 parliamentary election successfully. The communique adds that it is the 19th Amendment brought about by the United National Party government that ensured the election was conducted in a free and peaceful manner. The communique further adds that the UNP wishes to take this opportunity to thank all public officers, triforces and the police who got involved in conducting the free and fair election. Now, the communique also adds that the people have given a massive mandate to the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, and the UNP has encountered the greatest setback in the history, despite many achievements which brought long-lasting benefits to the country and the people. Now, in the communique, it further states that it is evident that in this election, political parties based on policies have been overtaken by political movements. The communique adds that this could lead to an unstable political situation in the country in the years to come. Finally, the communique concludes by saying that the UNP would like to appeal to its supporters and the general public to accept the outcome of the election peacefully. The party will be reorganized and restructured to face the challenges, and the UNP will be moving forward with the determination and vigor as has been done on previous occasions. Now, here are some of the wishes that were given out to the government by foreign states.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveyed his congratulatory message to his counterpart Mahinda Rajapaksa via a telephone call last night. Taking to his Twitter handle, the Prime Minister had said that he looks forward to working with him closely to further enhance the long-standing cooperation between the two countries. The tweet added that India and Sri Lanka are friends and relatives as well. The US has said it is looking forward to partnering with the government and new parliament. Issuing a statement, the US Embassy in Colombo had congratulated Sri Lanka on conducting the elections in a peaceful and orderly manner despite the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. The US said it hopes that the government will renew its commitments to build an inclusive economic recovery while also upholding human rights and the rule of law. It also said it expects that the government will protect the country's sovereignty. Current Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli, expressed his warm wishes regarding Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and has invited him to visit Nepal soon. Mahinda Rajapaksa tweeted saying that he appreciates the invitation and values the friendly relations that the two countries share and will always stand by Nepal in times of need. Ibrahim Mohamed Soli, the president of Maldives, extended his congratulations for the SLPP's resounding victory at the general elections. He added that he is confident that this win would usher in greater prosperity for the Sri Lankan people and that it will foster even closer ties between the two countries. The Vice President of Maldives also congratulated the Prime Minister for his victory and hopes to work closely with Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Japan has also issued a statement congratulating the victors of the general election. It says Japan welcomes the peaceful, free and fair holding of the parliamentary election in the country and commends Sri Lanka's long-established tradition of democracy, which was further strengthened through the election. The statement added, and I quote, "While congratulating the government's victory in the election, Japan, as a long-standing friend of Sri Lanka, will continue to support Sri Lanka's efforts towards further development as a hub of the Indian Ocean region." Unquote.
Continuing the messages of congratulations, the Mahanayakas of the Malwatu and Askiri chapters and the Mahasangha today bestowed their blessings on the candidates who emerged victorious at the general election.
I see this as a victory of the people of this country. The candidates who won this election and the presidential election have a duty towards the country. They have to get rid of the old politics. If they try to use the power like they did in the past, they will not be able to develop this country. If they are to solve the issues of the people and create a self-sufficient country, they must completely do away with bribery, theft and corruption in the country. There needs to be a strong opposition in the country as well. The people expect the opposition also to be united and fulfill their duty to the nation.
අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම සිටිය යුතුයි. ඒ විපක්ෂයන් සමගි සම්පන්නව කටයුතු කරගෙන ඒ තමාගේ යුග මෙහෙවර ඉටු කිරීම තමයි ජනතාව බලාපොරොත්තු වන්නේ. ශ්‍රී ලංකා ජනාධිපති තුමනි,
I would like to kindly remind the President, Prime Minister and all of the other parliamentarians that you have received an unlimited power. You have been given this power to work for the welfare of this country and protect it. So you must work for the welfare of the people of this country. You must also protect the assets of this country and not hand them over to foreign nations. Sajith Premadasa will definitely get the leadership of the opposition. You too must think about what happened to his previous party. It was completely destroyed. You too have much power now. You must use your power to do good. If something bad happens in parliament, you must use your power against it. That is the role of the opposition. This is what you must do.
ඔබතුමාගේ කියන දේ තමයි හොඳ දේට හොඳ ඡන්දේ පාවිච්චි කරන්න. පාර්ලිමේන්තු නරක දෙයක් වුණොත් ඒකට සම්පූර්ණයෙන් විරුද්ධත්වය ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න. ඒක තමයි විරුද්ධ පක්ෂයාගේ යුතුයකම. මේ දේ තමයි සිදු කළ යුතු.
වංචා දූෂණ සියල්ලම තුරන් කරමින් යහපත් පාර්ලිමේන්තු සම්ප්‍රදායක් බිහි කරයි කියන ඒ බලාපොරොත්තුව අපේ රටේ මහ ජනතාව තුළ තිබෙනවා. ඒ අභිලාෂ ඉෂ්ට කරන හැටියට අපි ඒපත්.
Our hope is that bribery and corruption will be eradicated and that a decent parliamentary tradition would be created. We request the public representatives and the parliament to fulfill these aspirations of the people. As for the opposition, a special responsibility lies with them now. They must pay attention to past experiences, setbacks and incidents that drew condemnation from the people. We expect that the opposition would support the government in good activities and guide them when they are wrong while engaging in policy-based politics. We feel that this is a cardinal responsibility of the opposition.
බලාපොරොත්තුව විපක්ෂයෙන් විශේෂ වගකීමක් හැටියට අපි දකිනවා.
Now, moving away from the victories and defeats at the general election 2020, taking a look at a story that caused a bit of a stir in the run-up to the general election. the destruction of an archaeological site in Kurunegala. The development of this story, the Kurunegala Magistrates Court issued warrants for the arrest of individuals including the Kurunegala Mayor Tushara Sanjeeva Vithana, the Municipal Commissioner Pradeep Nishanta Tilakaratna and the Municipal Engineer Chaminda Bandara. This was in connection, of course, to the demolition of the Assembly Hall of King Bonakabahu II that was of archaeological value in the Kurunegala district.
The other suspects upon whom arrest warrants were issued are Labour Supervisor Ilauddin Zulfikar and backhoe machine operator Lakshman Priyanta. Kurunegala Chief Magistrate Sampath Hewavasam issued the arrest warrants upon considering the submissions made by Additional Solicitor General Sarath Jayamana and Senior State Counsel Madhava Tennakon, who appeared for the Attorney General. The Chief Magistrate instructed the investigating officer to report facts to court on the implementation of the arrest warrant on the 10th of this month.
On another story from courts, former director of the Criminal Investigations Department, Shania Besekara, and a sub-inspector of police have been further remanded until the 20th of this month. This was during a hearing before the Gampaha Chief Magistrate Manjula Karunaratne.
Shania Besekara and a police sub-inspector were arrested and remanded over charges of fabricating evidence in court over a cache of weapons claiming that it belonged to former DIG Vasco Nordana. Assistant Superintendent of Police Neville De Silva, who appeared on behalf of the Colombo Crimes Division, said that Nishanta De Silva, who served at the Criminal Investigation Department at that time, is the third suspect in the case. The ASP told the court that the third suspect has fled overseas and requested the court to issue a warrant for his arrest. The Chief Magistrate said that a report must first be sought from the Controller General of the Immigration and Immigration Department. The Attorney General's Department was not represented in court. President's Counsel Vasanta Navaratna Bandara, appearing for Shania Besekara, said the silence of the Attorney General's Department is regrettable when there is a document relating to the case. Counsel for the second suspect, Chaminda Korla, told the court that the case relates to a judicial process that took place 6 years ago. The lawyer pointed out that as a result of taking action over this matter after 6 years, there is a possibility that investigation officers and officials of the Attorney General's Department may conduct themselves as they did previously concerning the ruling. President's Counsel Vasanta Navaratna Bandara drew the attention of the Chief Magistrate towards the security that is being given to the CID's former director at the prison. The magistrate said that orders cannot be issued to that effect and that attention would be paid towards providing the required security.
The National People's Power, or the Jatika Jana Balavegya movement, expressed their views regarding the results of the general election at a media briefing held today.
There is an increase in the number of votes in comparison to the previous presidential election. We did not expect this result of the general election. We are not satisfied with this result, but we accept the trust placed in us by the general public. We as the Jatika Jana Balavegya have a much larger goal. Although there is a reduction in the number of votes, we would like to assure the people that the way forward to face the problems of the people lies within our manifesto. I believe that Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa cannot complain about a lack of power to fulfill their promises to the people, because the people gave them 2/3 of the seats in parliament just as they requested. We believe that the government must fulfill the promises that they made to the people. We believe that there is a need for a new constitution that strengthens democracy, the rights of the people and the freedom of the general public. The president's main campaign slogan was "One country, one law." He promised a nation where the law will be enforced equally against everyone. We are looking forward to that. If there is one constitution, there are amendments brought to the constitution. It can be the 17th or the 19th amendment. The government continued to speak about a new constitution. They were unsuccessful as a government during the past 5 years. They were unsuccessful to such an extent where there was no area that the government accomplished anything in. Ranil Wickremesinghe is suffering the consequences of that crisis.
පාර්ලිමේන්තු විපක්ෂ කාර්යභාරයට වඩා ප්‍රබල කාර්යභාරයක් තිබෙනවා ජනතාවත් එක්ක ඉටු කළ හැකි.
ජනතාවට ප්‍රමුඛ ප්‍රමාණයක් වෙනවා නම් තමයි එයා සතුටින්.
ඒක එතුමගේ තමයි අහන්න ඕනකම තියෙන. ඇයි සතුටුනේ කියලා.
දැන් ජාතික ලයිස්තු මන්ත්‍රී සඳහා ඔබතුමාලා නමක් යෝජනා කරලා තියෙනවද මේ වෙන්නේ?
අපි ජාතික ජන බලවේගය එකතු වෙලා ඒක තීරණය කරනවා. ලයිස්තුවේ යම් අනුපිළිවෙලක් හදලා තිබෙනවා. ඒ අනුපිළිවෙලට අනුව පත් වෙයි.
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයෙන් ලැබුණ මේ භාගයත් එක්ක රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්මයා තවත් ඉන්න ඕනේ කියලා ඔබතුමාලා විශ්වාස කරනවා.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ දේශපාලනේ යන්න යා යුතු කාලෙක දැන් ගොඩාක් කල් පැනලා. කියලා මම හිතනවා.
ඔබතුමාලා කියනවා විමර්ශනයේ යෝජනා තමයි හිතවාදී ක්‍රමයක් අනුගමනය කරන
If anyone can prove that our party or anyone in our party had personally got any benefits, they can show it. There is nothing like that. They say those things about us on stages, but never on our stages.
ඒකන අපේ රටේ පෙට්ටියට වැටෙන සෑම ඡන්දයක්ම නියමාකාරයෙන් ගණන් කරනවා. එහෙනම් අපි බොරුවට යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. නමුත් ඡන්ද පෙට්ටියට කතර ගහන්න බලපාන්නේ මොනවද කියලා ඇහුවොත් ඒකට වෙනස්කම් ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි වැටෙන ඡන්දේ තමයි ගණන් කරන්නේ.
ඒතකොට විපක්ෂ නායක හැටියට සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහතාගේ කාර්යභාරය ඉෂ්ට කරයි කියලා තුමා සාහිත්‍යවත් වෙනවද?
මම හිතන්නේ අපි කවුරුවත් හඳාම් බලන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. පුරෝකතන කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔබත් මමත් මේ රටේ ජීවත් වෙනවා. අපි බලමු නේද?
And that's a wrap of Primetime News on TV1 for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, take care and God bless.